Hey, Hail Stalkers, big storm across Denver right now. We are popping in here to tell you we already have a golf ball size hail report across the Denver metro. So let's go right into the storm here and talk about the severe weather that's happening in Denver, Colorado. So at the moment, we have a severe thunderstorm watch, and that goes until 8 o'clock Mountain Time tonight. But I want to really focus on this warning. This storm that's moving right through the heart of Denver at the moment is warned for ping pong ball size hail. And we already have confirmed ping pong ball size hail in Denver right now. Let's actually pop on our local storm reports at the moment and let's see if we can get any of those. Mine actually may not have been completely loaded up right now, but I can tell you, and we can hear it from Martin here in just a few minutes, that we already in the heart of Denver have a golf ball size hail report that came in from actually a public reporting. That would actually be right here around I-25. We also have a ping pong ball size hail report. That would be just a little bit to the south of here, right around I-33. That came in from a trained spotter, so a very, very reliable source saying ping pong ball size hail on the ground right now in Denver, Colorado. This is just south of North Washington, just crossed I-25, and now it's basically going parallel to I-70, tracking to the to the east and northeast. Now this is moving at about 25 miles an hour, about normal, 25 miles an hour, moving to the northeast. Now just crossed I-25, so we are officially on the east side of Denver. Now I do want to bring in meteorologist Martin Lauermore. Now Martin, your radar is a lot easier to see than my radar because you can see exactly what's happening with the turn of this storm. You can see with the correlation coefficient how much hail we're getting. Tell us what you see from your side of things.
I mean, the storm kind of popped up very, very aggressively, very quickly. We were watching it just
moving its way through, we actually saw as those reports came in, the storm was even at its peak intensity. So really moving on, continuing, it got more intense as it made its way into the northeast part of the city. Metro, probably on the northeast side there, probably got hit really hard as we saw a drop off in correlation coefficient and a massive spike in that reflectivity. Now, granted, the past couple of frames have dropped off a little bit, so maybe the storm is kind of already undergoing a cycling phase, or it is on all sense weakening, but it's already given plenty of reports of large hail across parts of Denver. This was downtown, actually, that saw a lot of these reports here. This is just on the north side of downtown. Meanwhile, you're looking out to other places outside of the city, could be seeing even more as well. But decent amounts of hail just south of Commerce City, northeast of Denver. So Taylor, storm is warned for 2-inch hail. I could see
probably a 2-inch report coming out of this pretty soon.
They're saying most up-to-date information is they are saying it is currently 4 miles south of Commerce City or 8 miles northeast of Denver, moving east at 25 miles an hour. So it's not moving particularly fast. but it's
also not parked in one place. So it is good that we're not seeing it staying in one place, but it's not exactly a fast mover by any means.
No, 25 miles an hour, that's not very fast at all. And by the way, that has been upgraded from when we initially came on. We were saying ping pong ball size hail. Now it is officially warned for 2-inch size hail, as you heard from Martin there. We said that for today, we could see up to baseball size hail in Colorado, central Colorado, and eastern Colorado, and we are already seeing that on the move right now. Now, other than this storm right here, and Martin, I'm kind of seeing on my side of things. Now, my side, my radar is not as good as yours, but you tell me if you see this from yours. Are we starting to see this split maybe a little bit? I'll let you take a look at that, but while we're waiting for that, I do want to talk about the other severe thunderstorm warnings that we have going on. Now, if we go up into Wyoming, we have one over Wheatland right now. This is actually our first severe thunderstorm warning of the day. That warned for $50 size hail, so not as impressive as what we have going on in Colorado. And another warning ongoing right now, and that is in Colorado Springs. Kind of difficult to see from my side, from my radar right here, but you can see that warning for the Black Forest area, and that is for quarter size hail. So the most impressive storm that we have ongoing right now is in Denver, Colorado, in the heart of the city. So let's go back up to Colorado. Let's go back up to Denver right now. We're going to go to the north on I-25. You can officially see that the National Weather Service has deemed this a very considerable storm because they've got that darker border. Do you see that darker border around the warning? That indicates that this is a very serious and potentially considerable storm. I'm actually going to read to you some of the wording from the National Weather Service. They're saying that locations impact include Denver, northern Aurora, southwestern Thornton, southern Westminster, Commerce City, and Denver International Airport. Now, actually, if you guys are not familiar with Denver, it's headed to the airport right now, just outside of the city. That is where this thing is going to. So it's not there yet, but it's headed that direction. 2-inch size hail is officially what we consider a considerable. We put a considerable tag on it because it means potentially considerable damage, according to the National Weather Service. They're also saying that continuous cloud to ground lightning is occurring with this storm. Lightning is one of nature's leading killers. Remember, if you can hear thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning, and that is wording directly from the National Weather Service. They also are noting here that heavy rain is ongoing with this storm and may lead to some flash flooding. Now, I actually have a video from outside of Denver, and I want to see if I can share this right now. I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to talk about that flash flooding. 1 second here. And as always, if you guys have weather questions, put those in the comments section because Isaac is back here producing and he can help us monitor the comments section. Okay, so again, this is just, this is actually in Denver at eastbound at Washington Street. So it's I-70 looking eastbound and Washington Street. We're really starting to see a backup right now, which is possible, of course, whenever it rains, but this is much more of a backup than what we saw earlier. You can see the flooding ongoing on the roadways right now, and that shine coming from the cars onto the road, indicating that all of the roads here are very, very wet. So that's what's ongoing right now. Even if you don't see hail, we have that flooding potential. Road spray, also always a hazard here. But now I want to go back to meteorologist Martin Lauermore. I want to actually, Martin, I asked you earlier, is this storm starting to split, or is that just something that I'm seeing from my side? My radar is not as good as yours. So tell us, what have we seen with the evolution of this storm?
You're absolutely seeing a split already.
Okay.
You're absolutely seeing a split happening currently.
So as we move ahead in time, let me actually just show reflectivity so we can get a good view. We are seeing what we call a split. Basically, it's exactly what it sounds like. The storm breaks into two, essentially. So as we move ahead in time, we can see the bulk of these, that red and these pinks starting to split up, and you're seeing that bulk right here north of Commerce City stretching over toward Irondale. Meanwhile, you have this other southerly section of this storm right here moving its way a little bit more further. I guess you could say it's moving its way eastward, straight east, and then this one is moving northeast. So now the thing is that we have terms for these: left movers and right movers. movers. You want to think of it as you're oriented with the storm. So the storm that moves left is your left mover. The storm that moves right is your right mover. Ordinarily, with these left-moving storms, you're looking at a hail risk. With the right movers, you're looking at a hail and a much better chance of a tornado risk. We do have a low probability of seeing some tornadoes here in this region. I do believe I want to say it was the marginal risks for hail. Yes, in this region, they were calling for a marginal risk for hail, or marginal risk for tornado, and also a very good risk for hail this afternoon. So I would not be surprised if this right mover tries to make a brief tornado, and these left movers continually bringing in more of that hail. Now, with any of these storms right now, you do have the chance of tornadoes or hail. It's just historically, with these splitting supercells, your right mover is the one that supports the tornadic activity. Meanwhile, your left mover is the one that supports your hail. Now, again, talking about further south, this is over toward Rexboro Park, Lone Tree, Centennial. These are crossing I-25 as well. This is south of Denver. We got the other storm here. This is a recent severe thunderstorm warning. Further south, out towards Colorado Springs, I had a couple reports of 1-inch hail. No reports out of this one, but it is warned for $half sized hail. No wind, actually, with this. They are also, I do want to note, we only have 14 minutes left on this considerably warned severe thunderstorm just outside of Denver. So with this now splitting supercell, I'm going to imagine they're probably going to be re-updating this pretty soon, if not giving a new warning for this left move. That's probably going to be making its way maybe toward Henderson, possibly into Lockbuoy. You could be seeing some of those areas, seeing this storm. It really just depends on the angle that this left mover does eject off of the right mover. So we're, again, watching it pretty closely. We had several reports already of that golf ball sized hail, still currently warned for 2-inch hail. But again, Taylor, this kind of just popped up right over Denver, kind of bullseye on the city. And I mean, we've been saying it all day that Denver will be seeing the possibility of some of that larger hail. Is definitely a very interesting one today so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I want to go back to something that you said earlier, Martin. You said that we could see this warning updated, and because of the splitting nature of this storm, we most likely won't just see one new warning, we'll probably see 2 warnings, because what's going to happen, as Martin was explaining earlier, is this southern storm, it depends on which one could be sustained, it could be both. But most likely what will happen here is this southern storm is going to take more of an easterly turn. So there's one warning, right? This one that's farther up to the north will take more of a northeasterly track. So there's your other warning. So most likely within the next 10 minutes, we'll see those warnings updated. Now, again, we still have about 10 minutes left on this existing warning, still for 2-inch size hail. We're starting to see some video across social media that this is not just a little bit of hail. This is a ton of hail. And as always, you guys tag us in those social media videos. If you can get those safely, we absolutely love to see those. I'm going to see if we have any questions right now. Isaac, are there any questions in the chat that seem to grab our attention at the moment? Not a ton. Let's see if we... Chris is saying we needed it. Richard is saying that he just left the state and then of course it starts hailing. Of course, that's how it goes, right? Whenever I leave, I left in January and we got like 8 inches of snow here in Oklahoma. Let's go around the state now and let's talk about other storms that are happening, because as Martin mentioned earlier, this is not the only warning. We have 2 brand new warnings that were not there 10 minutes ago. So this really speaks to the explosive nature of these storms. Just to the west of I-25, they start out as a few sprinkles, but as they approach 25, that's whenever they really start to explode, whenever they're on flatter ground and not those mountainous ranges up in the Rockies. Now, this storm that's just to the south of Denver, warned for $half sized hail, includes Centennial, Greenwood Village, Highlands Ranch, and South Glen. It goes until 2:15 this afternoon. Again, that's mountainous time, or that's mountain time, and it's for about 250,000 people. As we go farther down to the south, a less populated area, but still a severe thunderstorm ongoing right now with ping pong ball size hail, 1.5-inch hail for Elizabeth and Ponderosa Park. That also goes until 2:15. So we've got another about 45 minutes left on these warnings, and I will tell you, they are warning these so far out, so 45-minute long warnings, that's pretty long, but it's because of the slow movement of these storms. They're not moving very fast. They won't outrun this warning anytime soon. Moving pretty slow at about 25 miles an hour. One more update here on this Denver storm, which is almost outside of the city, okay? It's on the northeastern side of the city right now. The strongest part of this storm, that hail core, is about to cross over. I think this is 235. Let me double check that. Oh, 270. This is 270. So about to cross over 270, where Highway 2 and 270 meet. Again, this is warned for 2-inch size hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, so marginally severe wind, but very, very large hail. Oh, not even marginally severe. No, look at that. 50-mile-per-hour winds. So we have basically no wind with this at all, but we have 2-inch size hail. For Aurora, Commerce City, Denver, and Sherrillwood, this goes until 1:45, so we've only got another 10 minutes left on this storm. So again, this is moving to the northeast, pretty slow at about 25 miles an hour. I'll read to you what the National Weather Service is saying on here. This is pretty typical with a severe thunderstorm warning like this. They're saying people, animals outdoors will be injured. Expect damage to roofs, sidings, windows, and vehicle. And remember, that is what the National Weather Service is saying. That is their words. We have another severe thunderstorm warning. If we move up to the north here, that's about to cross I-25 as well. All of these just right on the highway here. 1-inch size hail and 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts, so this is what we call marginally severe. This storm down in Denver, much, much, much more impressive. That is the most impressive storm that we have in the state right now. So just to recap, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 severe thunderstorm warnings just in this small area of Colorado. All of these right along I-25. We've got one up here just to the south of Berthoud. We've got another one in Denver proper making its way to the airport right now. We've got one just to the south of Denver, including about 250,000 people. And then we've got another one down near Palmer Lake and even another one just barely south of that. But the most impressive storm that we have ongoing right now is Denver, Colorado. Again, let's zoom down. Let's give a road by road view of exactly where this is. So there's Commerce City. You guys are probably getting some really heavy rain right now. You go down to the south, right along I-70, that's where the core is. And really that's where the core has been. The history of this storm has really just rode along I-70 here. Sand down at the moment, really heavy rain, but for the most part, you're almost out of that hail core. You're probably either just about to get in it. You probably got less than 10 minutes left in this storm. Montebello, this storm is headed right to you. Sable, this storm is headed right to you. So you still have a while until you're officially out of it. And again, because of the slow movement of this storm, means that it's not just hailing really fast like that. It sticks around. This hail core sticks around. But speaking of the history of this storm, I want to go back to meteorologist Martin Lauermore. Martin, can you give us an update on local storm reports right now? For some reason, they're not popping up on my map, but I know that you have them on yours. So tell us, we've seen golf ball size hail. Is that the largest hailstone we've seen so far?
I mean, what I'm seeing so far is there's not really much of an update. We haven't had any more reports in on my end either so far. I mean, let's see. So what I'm seeing right now is it's not. Oh, did my mic just go out? Can you still hear me? Is it good? Okay, good. I just want to make sure. So, we have a lot of 1-inch hail reports from the cell that was over toward Black Forest. Didn't get any so far from that cell just to the south of downtown over at Lone Tree. Same goes for that one over near Larkspur. Not looking at a whole lot of those. The most of those reports came out of downtown Denver. We had 4 of those 1-inch hail reports. That golf ball size report just north of downtown. And then the ping pong sized hail report from that train spotter just southeast of downtown. They've actually issued a new warning as well. This is really maintaining the current trajectory of this storm. This goes for another 15 minutes. And again, it's not a huge warning, really. Storm's just not moving that fast. It does clip out downtown Denver. They've slowed it down to 15 miles an hour. So these storms are not moving very quickly. Still not looking at any flash flood warnings yet. These storms are moving just fast enough to where they're probably not going to do a flash flood warning for downtown Denver or Commerce City, but Irondale, just north of Aurora, these places like this could be seeing some pretty intense rainfall, lightning, as the National Weather Service was saying, and obviously hail. Now, I do want to note they're still maintaining the 2-inch maximum hail size, meaning they're going to be staying at that considerably warned storm. That's that, basically, that, think of it as a level 2 out of 3 for these severe thunderstorm warnings. Again, we're maintaining the possibility of seeing this split from Irondale, backing it up a little bit. You can again see this cell kind of trying to split a little bit as it makes its way just north of Aurora, near Irondale, south of Henderson as well, making its way out of the Denver metro. Moving a little further south, again, still seeing a lot of these storms. But when it comes to reports, we haven't seen much more lately. Let me check real quick to see the Storm Prediction Center.
I'm surprised by that because I would have expected that we had, especially going through such a populated area. In the middle of the day, while people are out and about, you know, they're either coming back from lunch at this point or they're working and they say, oh, this is a nice break from work. There's a storm going outside my window. I'm really surprised we haven't gotten any more reports, but we have a few reports, or we have a few videos here. So Isaac, if you want to pull up my screen full, and then on the right side, there's some new video in our overlay section. And if you pop that on, we should be able to see this video right here. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, this isn't just a little bit of hail. This is a ton of hail falling. Now, I'm not going to lie, this is some of the more smaller hailstones that we've seen from social media. This one actually came in from, let's see, I think it was Be the Change on social media. Let me get the person's name who sent this in to us. It was Cheston. Cheston on social media. This was from Twitter. He said this is the hailstorm in Lodo. I'm assuming that's lower downtown. So this is, I'm going to say it's lower downtown Denver. A ton of hail with this. Now I have another video in there. This one is from Be the Change 360 on Twitter, and it's a ton of hail also in downtown Denver. He's saying pea-sized to quarter-size hail here, but remember, we have already gotten reports of golf ball-size hail. So we know that somewhere mixed in there, there's some larger hail. There's a ton of hail with this storm, and you're already starting to see some ponding on the roadways. You can see that we've got little streams that are running off into that drainage system. Hopefully the drainage system can keep up with all of this rain, but because of the slow movement of this storm, that heavy rain sticks around for a while. Again, this is also in downtown Denver. They're saying that it is pea-sized to quarter-size hail. Oh, and the following video, I actually don't have this uploaded to Restream, but the following video is a ton of flooding in this area. And he's saying flooding off of Steel Street in Denver. So if you're near Steel Street, you may try to avoid that area because we're seeing a ton of flooding. We're seeing a lot of people stalled on the roadways. Let's go ahead and let's go back to the traffic camera. Oh, it looks a lot better now. Here, let me find another traffic camera for you guys. So this is coming from the Denver traffic system. And if I move a little bit farther to the east and I get a little bit closer to the airport, you can see that it's a totally different situation. We have people now stopped on the roadways here. Traffic has absolutely slowed down in this area because of so much of that rain and some of the hail too. You know, you start hearing ice hit your car and you're slowing down. So again, this is coming from the Denver traffic systems. This camera moving around just a little bit, indicating we've got a little bit of wind with this, but wind is not the biggest concern here. It's absolutely the hail. The Storm Prediction or National Weather Service still has this warned for 2-inch size hail. Actually, speaking of, let's get back to the radar here. So we've showed you what's happened so far. Let's get an update on that severe thunderstorm warning. So what you see here is we've got the original severe thunderstorm warning. That is highlighted right here. Do you see that thicker line right there? That's the original one. But we have the brand new severe thunderstorm warning, and that goes right here. It's kind of a thinner line, a little bit lighter, a little bit harder to see. Now, let me give you an update on this because I think, no, they are still keeping this as 2-inch size hail. And I'm actually really surprised by that. I'm surprised they're not bringing this hail size down a little bit. I'm going to check on my side of things. I'm going to make sure that that's correct.
It is.
It is, okay. 2-inch size hail.
And they're going to be dropping that other warning in 20 seconds.
So we'll see this go away here in just a minute. So we'll see this side of the warning go away. So what this is this is Denver right here, Denver proper. This warning is almost outside of Denver proper. We are still including the airport in this brand new warning, mainly for Aurora, Commerce City, and Derby. This brand new warning goes until 2:30 for the brand new warning. So we've got another 45 minutes on it. And again, this just is a testament on how slow it's moving. Martin, get this. The speed of this storm has slowed down by about 10 miles an hour. We originally had this thing going at 25 miles an hour. Now it's slowed down. So even if the hail sizes are not 2 inches, you got hail for a long period of time. That hail, that's piling up.
Yeah, I mean, we've already
had a lot of these storms that were going 20, 50 miles an hour. We actually had one of those going 10.
So not moving very fast at all. And believe me, it gets pretty crazy whenever you've got hail piling like snow, especially on where roofs intersect, where they will eventually roll down. You will have piles of hail to a foot tall.
You know, it wasn't too long ago, Denver was getting snow. They had snow on the ground. Now, it may look like snow, but it's actually hail. That's what you're getting right now. Again, right along I-70, that's mostly where the most of the hail will be.
Yeah, and this is also we're going to be noticing
a new problem pretty soon. If the storm does continue its current trajectory, it's going to go on top of the radar, which is going to make it a little bit difficult to really see and peek into the storm over the next hour or so. We're going to have to use much further away radars, which are not as accurate once you get much further away. So that is something we're going to be watching closely as it does get close to the radar that is north of the terminal radar. That would be the terminal radar for the Denver International Airport.
And these radars are so close together. Now, this is right along I-70. The radar is right along I-70. I think it's out here where that 36 marker is. It's in the Bennett area of Colorado, so we have 2 radars actually in this area. Now, oftentimes in the plains, we can switch back and forth, you know, from the Tulsa to the Oklahoma City radar, but in the mountainous regions, it's a lot more difficult to do that. So as this moves a little bit closer, we may rely more on your storm reports than what we see from the radar. That's when our spotters are so important out there, and when the National Weather Service is so important. Just a reminder, this goes until 2:30, so we've got another 45 minutes, almost exactly 45 minutes left on this warning. 2-inch size hail still possible with this storm. However, while I totally believed that earlier, whenever this storm was in Denver, I believed it was producing 2-inch size hail. Now that it's outside of Denver, what I'm seeing is not as impressive as what it was earlier. That doesn't mean it can't produce large hail. It means it may be going through a cycling where it's going to intensify pretty soon. 50-mile-per-hour wind speeds, so we're not too concerned about that wind, and we've got 1/3 of a million people still included in this severe thunderstorm warning. And that goes for Aurora to Commerce City to Derby. Now, for those of you who weren't joining us earlier, I'm going to pop back up, or Isaac, will you pop back up the videos that we've gotten so far? And I don't know if you guys can hear these. I don't think you can hear the videos.
I can't hear it, at least.
I don't think so. We've got a few comments on here. OMG. Some people saying they can't see the photos. Now, I think they should be able to see them. We've got another report. We got hail at the apartments at the roofing broker. Oh wait, maybe I read that wrong. What other questions do we have? We've got a few reports that the sound may be going in and out. Will you guys give us, I mean, it sounds good from my side, but you guys let us know if that is still the case. Okay, we can go back to the radar and take a look at what we're seeing from the radar now. Actually, Martin, do you want to take over for a minute? We haven't seen your more detailed radar in some time. I really want to know. Now, we thought earlier that the storm may be splitting. Now with this little storm to the south, it's a little bit more cluttered up to the north. I'm not sure I still believe that it's going to split, but what do you see from your side of things?
It's more like elongating at this point. Yeah, it's what it really thinks like it's been doing. It's when these storms attempt to split and they kind of they literally just fail to split. They don't really, they maintain as one storm. Storms were really trying to break apart, especially around Irondale, just to around Commerce City, as it was trying to break apart. But now it's kind of just pulled. So they could end up maybe giving a new warning to kind of expand it out a little bit. But I'm also in agreement with Taylor. Any real reports of minutes with just these storms, where they are right now, that's not really where we've been seeing a lot of these storm reports. It's really just been Denver, although we did have another report of about a golf ball sized hail report. This was 4 miles east of Denver, so still pretty much in Denver. But as we back up a little bit, we could see where we saw this report. Let me download a few more frames for you. Moving its way through, have not had a lot of reports lately, so I would not be surprised
when they do reissue this warning that they're going to try to bring in maybe a standard severe thunderstorm warning versus the current considerable severe thunderstorm warning that we're sitting on right now for that 2-inch hail. I wouldn't be surprised if they bring it down to golf balls or maybe even ping pong sized hailstones. So I don't think we are. Actually, we had a couple reports earlier. This is just now coming in from our MPing reports. We had a couple reports of this cell down to the south with a funnel cloud. No reported tornadoes, but the public itself, and so 2 reports from the public of a funnel cloud in this cell to the south. This is that one that was it was not the one over toward Colorado Springs, but the one just to the south of Denver. So a couple more reports from MPing, Taylor, a little bit delayed, but it's not any reports we've had lately. And we also had that report of a handful of those funnel clouds. News 9 showing small hail over I-70 just now. Any threats to Littleton today? Littleton, let's see where Littleton is at. Give me one moment. I'm going to find out where that is. Littleton, Colorado. That would be just south of Denver. I was staring right at it the whole time. So it looks like the cell has already moved past you guys. So your threat pretty much is good to go for right now. You're not really seeing any of these storms moving through as of right now. This has already made its way past you. It looks like you kind of dodged most of the storms really for today. You did get clipped a little bit, but you didn't get the severe stuff for this cell that was over toward Highland Ranch. You were also to the south of the Denver storm as well. So you kind of split the uprights when it came to these storms. Didn't really get anything, and I doubt you'll be seeing any more for the rest of the day as well. So won't luckily have to deal with anything when it comes to the hail for the rest of the day. But Taylor, a couple more reports that came through. Still max hail size we had reported was that golf ball sized hail. So no 2-inch yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if we did have an unreported 2-inch hailstone fall somewhere around Denver.
Hey, Martin, before you get rid of this great radar view right here, will you zoom in to those local storm reports, the hail reports? I want to show people that they are right along I-70, just to the south of I-70, if I'm correct on that.
This is probably like a bypass, or probably a road that goes right through Denver, yeah.
I mean, this storm has really rode along that line. It's been very, very parallel to the highway this entire time, moving almost straight east with that hail core. So that's where we've seen the most amount of hail. There are a ton of homes and businesses in the path here. We've got a park in the middle of the way there. I mean, we've got a ton of people that were hit with hail today, and we'll continue to make sure that we are watching for photos and videos from this storm that passed through Denver. Now we can go back to my radar. I'm going to give you kind of a round the radar of storms across Colorado right now. Again, this storm is still warned for 2-inch size hail. So 2-inch size hail, it goes until 2:30. We've got another 35 minutes left on this storm. We've got another severe thunderstorm warning. Now this is going to clip, I think. Yeah, we've got 2 or 3 in here. Actually, this is actually going to clip some people who have already gotten hit in southern Aurora. You've got another storm that's moving up your way. Now, this is for ping pong ball size hail, so not as impressive as what we see in Aurora right now. However, still an impressive storm with ping pong ball size hail, and this goes until 2:15, moving to the northeast, not just the east, but the northeast, at about 20 miles an hour. These are slow moving storms, which just contributes to that flooding problem. You get heavy rain, you've got a flooding problem, but you get heavy rain for a long period of time and you've got a big flooding problem. These 2 storms warned still down to the south. 1-inch size hail possible with these. Still the most impressive is what we have ongoing in Denver right now. We've got another storm that's just about to cross I-25 in Meade going into Platteville, also warned for 1-inch size hail, quarter size hail in this area. So really the most impressive storm that we have right now is that storm in Denver. Now taking a look at the exact area, I've got anyone in the comments have any reports or any questions, because I want to make sure that we get to all of your questions before we hop off of here. But once we hop off, we can go through all of your photos and videos and we'll start posting those so you know exactly what happened in Denver itself, right? The storm is almost outside of Denver. We've got tons of photos and videos that we've seen from social media. So if we don't have any last minute questions, we're gonna hop off of here, but we're still gonna be posting on our social media for the rest of the day about photos, videos that we've seen from you guys from social media, so you know exactly what happened in Denver. Before I go, Martin, any last minute updates from these storms that we have across Colorado?
So they're still maintaining that 2-inch report for the severe thunderstorm warning that was in Denver before. They have not changed anything. Yeah, I'm still looking. No, it's still warned for 2-inch hail. I think they're just maintaining it just because of a history that it's already had. As Taylor was saying, it's been possibly recycling. So, you know, National Weather Service doesn't want to drop a storm and then bring it back up immediately. So maybe just waiting for it to really fall itself down. But as of right now, no new reports. Our max report is still that golf ball size that was just inside Denver. Aurora's getting it right now. That's about all I can really say. Watkins will be seeing that storm too. But beyond that, a couple other thunderstorms bringing in more of that hail. Still nothing being warned for wind. It is exclusively a hail event today.
It really is. It's a big hail event, which is so typical for this time of the year. I have to laugh because we got a few questions about a week ago. Is Denver done with their hail season yet? Now. And I was like, it's just getting started. Usually Denver's hail season really starts at the end of May and most of June. And then we've kind of got a second round that'll come in the fall. And that's exactly what we saw is last week, the end of May, we had a low risk, but nothing formed. Actually, we had one storm that set about 20 miles outside of Denver and it just set and didn't move. It was moving slow like the storms that we have today. But now we have a direct hit right through Denver where we got golf ball size hail reported in the city. Okay, I have one last picture or video to show you. Whenever I talked about the flooding earlier, this is what I'm talking about. tons of water running off on the roadways. And then you can see in the distance that the roads look like they're covered in white. That is not snow. That's hail. And as we were talking about earlier, it just piles up as these storms move so slowly. It slowly piles up. And so that's exactly what we're seeing. And again, I think I told you guys the street earlier, but I will find that street name one more time so that you know exactly where this is coming from. Steel Street. Steel Street in Denver. I assume that this is not an isolated event. This is probably something that you guys are seeing a lot of. But for now, we're going to hop off of here. We're going to find more videos and pictures like what you just saw there, and we'll be posting it on all forms of social media. So make sure that you follow us on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn pages, and we'll make sure that you guys are informed about what happened in Denver today. Thanks for joining us on this Monday afternoon. We'll see you back here for your next big storm.